Saving money. Saving money has been the piece of advice that anybody who is anybody would tell anybody who is somebody else that needs or wanted to learn how to improve their financial lot in life. Well, that's no longer the case. Saving money is really a waste of money. I'm going to go into the reasons for that in the series on smart money tactics. Stop saving money. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. Stop saving money. You're watching Finance Squared. I'm your host, Derek West. In this video, we're going to talk about why you should stop saving money. In addition to that, we're going to go over other smart money tactics that will help you to improve your financial lot in life. So let's dive right in. Stop saving money. Yep, I said it. Seriously, just stop saving money. Drop your debit card and slowly back away, sir. In all seriousness, saving at one point in history was the way to grow your wealth. Back in the day, all you had to do was just take a portion of your income, 10%, 15%, more, maybe less, and put it away in the bank. Not just one time, but consistently, every week, every month. And do that over the course of your life, and voila. You have a nice, comfortable retirement with a decent recurring income that could support you and your lifestyle. This was true for tens, hundreds, thousands of years. Unfortunately, that's no longer the case. And the reason for that is our friendly neighborhood nemesis, inflation. You see, inflation is introduced into an economy when the collective money supply grows and the goods and services in that economy do not. The worse that phenomenon is, the worse inflation is. That phenomenon has actually been with all economies since the introduction of economies with the introduction of man. However, prior to the last Great Depression, the evil twin of inflation was also an ever-present danger. That evil twin's name was deflation. You see, deflation is when the money supply contracts and the goods and services in the economy do not shrink at the same rate. And actually, that causes the goods and services in the economy to shrink at that same rate. But you see, those two phenomena tended to keep the money supply at roughly the same level for certain periods of time, believe it or not. But since the Great Depression, economists and central bankers, the ones who control the supply of money, have all decided that deflation must never be allowed to take root in an economy. A lot of people blame a deflationary spiral for the depths of the Great Depression. Now, what does that have to do with saving, you ask? Great question. When inflation is high, the amount of goods and services that you can buy with the same number of dollars decreases, meaning you have less purchasing power. In other words, products that you would have paid $100 for this year, you'll need to pay $102 for next year, if the inflation rate is truly 2%. So if you simply save $100 in anticipation of buying those goods or services next year, you'll actually need $102, which honestly doesn't seem like a huge number, but that can add up a significant amount over time. Think about maybe investing in a house. Instead of saving up $20,000 for a down payment, you'll need to save up $20,000. Well, let me get my math right here, my arithmetic. $20,400? $24,000? I think it's $20,400. I'm gonna go with that. But yeah, you can see how that can add up over time. But what should you do instead? Remember, simple changes. So if you're a responsible, learned individual with a little bit of cash left over each month after expenses, the thing to do is to invest that money. Well, invest in what? That is a great question. And we talked about it a little bit earlier. But in reality, a question that can't be answered in a 10-minute video. I hate to keep plugging my channel here, but I have more great videos about this topic coming out in the near future. So again, like and subscribe. I bet that's getting annoying to hear. Well, the second you like and subscribe, I'll stop saying that. No, but generally, for a beginner, stick with simple, safe investments like mutual funds, index funds, exchange-traded funds. Each of them is different in their own special way, and they serve a different segment of the population that has different needs and expectations out of their financial products. But they're all great ways to get started and acquire a diversified investment portfolio, particularly if you are a beginner. Now, there are different ways that you can tackle those investments as well. Again, a video on that is forthcoming. I gotta tell you, bro, we're all full of great content coming out in the next 3 months or so. So stay locked in. But Next smart money tactic, or really a smart money thing to realize: scared money don't make no money. I apologize for the broken English, but one thing that 2020 has taught us is that the stock market can take a downturn at any time. We're coming up on November here, and I believe the stock market has been in bear territory probably 3 times, depending on which index you're following. That said, you need to be prepared to not take action. If you've been following simple investment principles, and if you're not over leveraged and borrowing money to purchase stocks, and the companies and instruments that you are invested in are worthwhile, then there is no reason why you should pull out of the stock market when it takes a turn for the worse. Now, if you are of advanced age, you should probably be mostly invested in low risk instruments like bonds anyway. But if you are young enough, you have a large investment horizon to make up any short-term market crashes. So don't panic and follow the sheep off of a cliff when the stock market goes down. Keep your emotions in check. Stay calm, meditate for a while, and stay invested. Depending on the instruments you own, consider buying more. Remember, when the stock market tanks, that means that instruments that make people wealthy are on sale at a discount. And trust me, if you search long enough, there are amazing deals to be had. This past panic, earlier in like the April and March timeframe, the panic that occurred in the stock market due to Rona turned some thousandaires into millionaires, particularly folks who invested in oil, airlines, and cruise ship stocks. I myself invested in oil futures, and I made a killing. I simply knew that oil would not stay that low for any amount of time. So again, buy investment instruments at a discount. Act like it's Black Friday at Best Buy and you're standing in line to buy a truck full of 72-inch OLED TVs. Another smart money tactic to keep in mind: the rich don't pay taxes. Well, let me be real. Everybody pays taxes, but specifically, the rich do whatever they can to lower their tax burden. Now that's true no matter what their political affiliation, no matter who they vote for, and no matter which candidate they support for president in 2016, 2020, 2024, 2028, 2032, on and on ad nauseum. Minimizing your tax burden, which is and will be the largest expense of your life, is crucial to growing your wealth. Just think about that for a second there. Paying your taxes is the number one thing you will pay, the number one most expensive thing you will pay for throughout your entire life. No matter who you are, no matter what your tax bracket is, your taxes is going to be your most expensive outlay. Now, I'm not saying do not pay your taxes. In fact, never try to not pay your taxes. That is the quickest way to end up in the slammer and broker than a jailhouse dog. But do minimize your tax burden by any means possible. There are various ways of accomplishing that. The most common way that most people think of is a mortgage, but there are numerous other ways of doing that as well. And that leads me to the next smart money tactic: follow the money. You see, the way to figure out which other ways to reduce your tax burden is to follow the money. Take a look at what your favorite politician is doing with their money and their salary, no matter which political affiliation they belong to, and no matter which political affiliation you belong to. Just look at what politicians do with their money and try and follow in their footsteps. Also, look at what your favorite business mogul does. They all have lessons that they can teach us on how to position ourselves and our wallets to grow exponentially. A quick example. This is a more advanced tactic, but purchase an apartment building. Purchase an apartment building. And once you do that, lease a unit in that apartment building from yourself. So not only do you have a tax outlay for owning the property, you're also leasing a property from yourself. And depending on how you position yourself, maybe you're a C Corp owning that building, you could rake in quite a bit of tax savings. Now that's just one example. What are the next steps that you should take? Well, why not click on one of the videos on the screen right now? In it, you'll find more videos on the series Smart Money Tactics. Also, there are other videos on this channel, either dropping right now or in the future. So be sure to click on one of them on the screen as well. And to make sure you get all the videos that are coming out on this channel, Finance Squared, be sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to click that notification bell. So I'm out of here, guys. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to stop saving money, and we'll talk more about smart money tactics in the near future. Peace.